Well, before heading to Texas, Trump told NBC News that the US will start selling weapons to Ukraine, with NATO allied countries footing the bill for that. Trump did not specifically mention Patriot missile systems specifically, but he's recently said Kyiv would need Patriots to defend itself. During the interview, Trump also said he would be making a, quote, major announcement about Russia on Monday, but did not disclose further details. I'm pleased to welcome Daniel Friednow. He's the former US ambassador to Poland and joins us from Washington, D.C. A very warm welcome to you, Ambassador. The President, Donald Trump, says he plans to supply weapons to Ukraine, but I guess a catch is that NATO has to pay for them. What do you make of that statement?
I'd like to see American weapons flowing to Ukraine without pause, without restrictions. And if it means that Trump comes up with a new formula, well, I'll take it. Now, I would prefer the U.S. give Ukraine the weapons, but it's been clear for some time that Trump wanted some other kind of a formula, lend-lease, a loan, something so he could say he had changed what the United States had done. If he is working out arrangements that involve, let's say, Germany purchasing weapons and then giving them to Ukraine, well, that's not ideal, but it is far better than the United States simply restricting weapons and letting Russia have a victory. So let's see what President Trump says on Monday. But this is relatively good news because Trump is moving in the direction of helping Ukraine rather than pulling back from Ukraine and helping Putin.
OK, so you're calling this a new formula. You've just mentioned Germany too. Germany, for example, has pledged to buy US-made Patriot systems for Ukraine. That's something Ukraine desperately needs. So is this new formula, as you've called it, the strategy from Trump, working already?
Well, we're in a better place than we were a few days ago when the U.S., for no good reason, had restricted weapons to Ukraine, weapons that were already in Poland getting ready for transshipment. The Trump administration clearly is divided about Ukraine and inconsistent policy results. It goes back and forth. Trump has been moving up to the line of actually arranging for new weapons to be sent to Ukraine as opposed to just letting the Biden era decision stand. But he's not crossed it yet. And that's enormously frustrating, especially because Putin has done absolutely nothing to respond to Trump's calls for a ceasefire, whereas the Ukrainians have been cooperating. So many of us, friends of Ukraine, friends of the free world, have been waiting for Trump to finally get to the point where he was going to take action on behalf of Ukraine. And a formula to send U.S. weapons to Ukraine is half of it. The other half is increasing economic pressure on Russia. And Senator Graham and Senator Blumenthal's bill to do so seems to be gaining momentum in the U.S. Congress. So if both of those measures move forward, Ukraine and Europe and all of us will be in better shape. We're not quite there, but the signs are a lot better than they were a week ago.
Let's talk a bit more about this pressure on Russia. Trump seems angry, or at least very frustrated with Vladimir Putin, and his language has changed quite significantly recently towards him. What do you think's behind this?
Well, what's behind it is Putin arrogantly assumed that he could just jerk Trump around, to use the American vernacular. And Trump got tired of being jerked around. At least that's how it appears. Trump wanted to broker a peace. He put pressure on Ukraine to agree to a 30-day unconditional ceasefire, and Zelensky agreed. Putin has done nothing, which is a surprise to absolutely nobody with experience with Russia. We all knew, that is, people that have dealt with the Kremlin, such as myself, knew what the Russians were doing, which is stalling, sending the U.S. down various rabbit holes while it pounded Ukraine, waiting for some break, waiting for Trump to fold. And I think Trump got tired of being played by Putin. Now, let's see what he actually decides. Trump is not exactly consistent. He goes here, he goes there, he zigzags. But it looks as if Trump has finally had it with being played like a fool by Vladimir Putin.
You're saying Donald Trump is getting tired of being played by Putin. What do you think Trump should do
So it seems.
If the Kremlin doesn't agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine? What should Trump do?
Oh, he has plenty of options. One, find a formula to assure a steady, uninterrupted flow of weapons to Ukraine, make that stick. And two, start putting additional economic pressure on Russia. We do have options. Go after Russian oil export revenues. There are plenty of good options on the table. Three, the United States could come up with a formula for using the immobilized Russian foreign exchange reserves, most of which are stuck in Europe, use them for Ukraine. It's complicated. There are a lot of central banker folks don't like that idea, but there's perfectly good Russian money that we could use on behalf of Ukrainian interests and our own. And I think a steadiness on the part of the United States, steadiness in supporting the British-French-led coalition of the willing. No more zigzags, no more suggestions that the U.S. is withdrawing. A steady pro-free world, pro-Ukraine policy stance by the United States, working with key European allies, could make a big difference. Russia is vulnerable. Their economy is not in good shape. They are making small advances on the ground in Ukraine with very heavy losses. It may be that Putin rationally is calculating that Trump may fold. If that calculation turns out to be wrong, Putin may recalculate and actually arrange for a better settlement other than Ukrainian surrender, which he has not earned on the battlefield. I don't know that he will, but I do know that Ukraine, with European and U.S. support, can probably blunt the Russian offensive, hang in there, and we will all benefit. The big loser, if Ukraine continues to resist, will be the Kremlin, Russia's attempt to restore its empire.
Ambassador Daniel Fried, a former US ambassador to Poland, thank you so much for your time and your insights today.
Thanks for having me.